Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the ABA Coffee in the Park. My name is Cam Milliken, and I am here with my co-host extraordinaire, Jennifer Herrick, the Executive Director of the Atchison Business Association. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning, Cam. How are you today?
I'm doing great. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day, and what a great day to be doing a podcast.
It is.
And we want to tell everybody that we're coming to you live from beautiful downtown Atchison. That's right.
At the Wall Coffee Roasters.
At the Wall Coffee Roasters. So if you hear some noise in the background, people talking or coffee whirring or machines blurring or those kinds of things, it's because we're doing this right here in the Wall Coffee Roaster. And hey, today, Jennifer, tell us about some important people who help us make this happen.
Well, we would like to thank our gold corporate sponsors, which include the MyShack Group of Companies, Genix and Parkland County. These individual businesses do so much for the Atchison Business Association, and we really want to thank them for their continued support.
That's right, because without them, we would not be able to do what we are doing. Hey, we always talk about coming from the Wall Coffee Roasters. And so today, we thought we would do something a little different that we want to do on a regular basis. Jennifer, tell us.
Well, today, for our listeners, Cam and I each have selected a different beverage from the Wall Coffee Roasters. So we just want to quickly talk about that beverage.
That's right. So why don't you start with the beverage of your choice, Jennifer?
So this morning I got the Cornerstone Blend, Cam.
Cornerstone Blend.
Roasted right here at the Wall Coffee
Right
Roasters.
here.
Yes.
In the Wall Coffee Roaster.
In the Wall Coffee
By
Roasters.
Michael Wall.
By Michael Wall.
Unbelievable.
Now, this is a delicious blend that has... I'm not kidding. You're going to look at me like I'm a little odd on this, Cam. But
okay.
I can taste chocolate.
Chocolate.
Nuts. And it's just got a really smooth flavor.
Wow.
For anybody looking for a great middle-of-the-road coffee, this is it.
So this
is not middle-of-the-road bad, but like not too dark, not too light.
Okay.
It's perfect.
So right in the middle.
Yeah.
And so good morning coffee, good afternoon coffee, good evening coffee.
I think any time of the day coffee.
Any time of the day coffee. And what's the name of that again?
Cornerstone Blend.
Cornerstone Blend. Okay, that's pretty awesome. Well, Jennifer, I have chosen an Americano. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, I have no idea what that means, other than they said this would be a good blend to have. So if you like Americanos.
I do like Americanos.
Yeah, this is a really nice Americano.
I know.
Now, I added a little bit of milk, and I don't know if you're supposed to do that with an Americano.
Okay.
And I just find it really smooth and nice and great, and it's a wonderful coffee. But that being said, I think any coffee that you get at the Wall Coffee Roaster is going to be a great coffee, but the two that we've talked about today are really awesome and worth trying out.
Agreed.
Yeah, so hey, come on by, grab a coffee, come on by, grab a bag of coffee to take home, and I know you're going to enjoy everything about it. It's going to be just great. So, I'm excited about our guest today. So, Jennifer, why don't you introduce our guest?
So, for everybody listening, I am also excited about our guest today because our guest is an associate member of the Atchison Business Association, was a nominee at our recent awards gala for Associate Member of the Year.
That's right.
It is my complete pleasure to introduce Teresa Jackson, owner and operator of the Gather Bakery in Spruce Grove. So welcome, Teresa.
Welcome, Teresa.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. It's great to have you here.
It's an absolute honor.
And I just want to say, Teresa brought with her some samples from the bakery.
She did.
And we haven't got into them yet, but they look amazing. So maybe once we get through this, we'll...
Well, I've learned that, when you own a bakery, wherever you go, people always ask you, did you bring something? So I'm getting better at it.
Fantastic. Well, we're excited. Yes, we're excited that you did. And we love it when our guests bring little treats for us. It's pretty awesome. So, hey, let's talk.
Teresa, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up?
Okay, well, it's quite this different story. I was actually born in Germany. I am the youngest of 4 girls, and my parents immigrated to Canada when I was 3 and moved to northern BC because the view was absolutely gorgeous there.
Yes, no doubt.
And so, I grew up in BC. My parents were pretty much all my life typically self-employed, and they were farmers. And so, the other kind of interesting fact about my childhood that not very many people know about me actually is that for all my, other than kindergarten, I was homeschooled my whole entire life.
All right. Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have
She said
the youngest
four.
of
Sorry,
four
yeah, four.
girls.
Okay.
Youngest of four girls. So I have
Youngest of
3
four,
older
okay.
sisters.
All right.
So there's a big age gap between us. There's 8 years between me and my next oldest sister.
Okay.
So I am definitely the baby of the family.
Right.
But yeah.
So you did all your schooling homeschool?
I did,
okay.
yeah.
Wow.
And the last grade 9 up, high school, I was all online learning.
And how'd you like all that? Was that?
It was okay. I'm I don't know if I'm an extrovert, but I definitely love people. And so that was the hardest part. Growing up on a farm,
Right.
online learning, siblings that were a bunch older than me, it was lonely.
Right.
And I missed people. And so I was very eager to get out and, see people and get involved and things like that.
Right,
So.
right. So when you were done school, then what?
Did you stay in BC? Did you
Well,
decide
sorry,
to...
and I should clarify, we did move to Alberta halfway through. I was like 8 or 9 when we
Okay.
moved to Alberta, actually just out in Stony Plain, and had a farm there. So, graduated here in Alberta. And I never went to university. I just started working right away. And I guess probably because I did my high school online, I was kind of techie, even though I would not consider myself techie at all at this point anymore, because it also changes so much.
Right, yeah.
But so I stepped right into the workforce and worked as graphic design and marketing.
Yeah.
And got into a relationship very young, and got married when I was 20, actually, and started having a family right away.
Yeah.
And just continued in marketing and sales. And even with having young children, I always thought I would be a stay-at-home mom, but very quickly realized that was not for me.
Right.
And I needed to continue to work and have that little extra, that communication with adults, interaction and things like that.
So how many kids do you have?
7.
7 kids.
Yes.
Okay.
I do have 7 children. So when my oldest ones were little, I just felt that I always needed to kind of keep doing something. So I continued to work in advertising and sales for a newspaper, actually. And then I attended a Pampered Chef party. I think it was
a which?
a Pampered Chef. So
Pampered
home-based.
Chef.
Yes.
Okay.
And that
The
was
ladies listening will know what Pampered Chef is.
I have no
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yes.
What,
It's like bakeware and
Okay.
cookware.
Correct. Like, it's-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like think
Good clarification,
think-
because us men out there are going, wow.
think Tupperware, but like more
correct. Very good
Right.
Yeah.
comparison.
Right.
Pampered Chef.
But
Yes.
Okay.
quality kitchen tools
Right.
rather than just
okay.
simply
Yes.
Okay.
Tupperware in a
Right,
sense, right?
okay.
So that was a whole new world for me. Again, I was young and had not known. The kitchen was very bare at our house. Didn't have very good quality tools, but that was kind of my intro, you could say, to food and bringing people together and hosting. And I went to this Pampered Chef party and just absolutely fell in love with the whole entire catalog. And, was mom with 3 little girls at home and worked a full-time job,
Right.
I kind of work at home, right,
Right.
around
Yeah,
their
exactly.
schedule and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So life was definitely plenty busy. But at the same time, I felt like I wanted something for me. So I'm like, okay, well, I want the whole entire catalog. And so I did sign up to become a consultant. And it all started as a hobby.
Right.
It very much started as a hobby, but not for long.
Okay, so just for clarification, is like Pampered Chef sort of like Tupperware or
Yes.
something like that? Okay.
Yeah, so you go
All right.
into people's homes,
You
like
have
you
a
get
party.
invited.
It's like a party.
Yes,
Yeah.
you get invited
Okay.
to someone's home.
All right.
And she's the host, or
Right.
the individual's the host.
Right, right.
And they invite their friends, and we cook together.
Okay.
Right? And so it's a lot of fun. We cook, we use the tools, and obviously there's food involved. You
Yeah.
get to enjoy, and Pampered Chef has excellent recipes. And so it's very social, right?
Oh, boy, did I learn something today. I knew nothing about this Pampered
Well, Cam,
Chef
I don't
world.
see you being
I
invited
don't-
to
I
a
don't-
Pampered Chef party,
I don't
but it's
really think
okay.
I'll be getting
It's
into
okay.
it, but I learned this is amazing. So you became a Pampered Chef?
Consultant,
Consultant,
yes, kind of as a
okay.
hobby.
Right.
But literally within, I think it was like a month or 2,
Yeah.
it changed very quickly, and I loved what I was doing. And so that year already, I quit my job in advertising and sales and focused strictly on Pampered Chef.
Oh, okay.
And for many, many years, was top 50 in the country and
Wow.
earned multiple trips a year. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a way to summarize that. Yes, this was a full-time job for me. This wasn't anymore a
Right,
hobby.
right.
This is what I did. And, I grew a
Wow.
team of over 50 and enjoyed working with others. And that was it. And I mentioned this because it was really really instrumental in
Sure.
both my introduction to food,
Right.
And bringing people together and hosting. And I feel it's very
Right.
to the core, right?
Right.
It really kind of helped me because I was also young at the time and kind of getting to know who I was and
Right.
what I was passionate about.
Okay.
And
So can I ask? This is a really dumb question, but I know that
There are no dumb questions, Cam.
No, I think this one is really dumb, but I'm very curious. Like Mary Kay. The Mary
Yes.
Kay people?
Yes.
They get like a pink Cadillac if they like sell 1 billion lipsticks or whatever. Does Pampered Chef have like a purple
Well-
Ford Escort or something that you got? Or
No, I
okay.
never did earn that.
Okay.
I did have some jewelry from them. And,
Okay.
I was way past halfway on my way to $1 million in
Come on.
sales where you get a diamond watch. So
What?
that was a target of mine for many years.
Wow. Okay.
But didn't quite make it there. But
Yeah.
it was kind of sad to kind of lose that
Sure.
target.
Nonetheless,
But,
you were on the road to a diamond
yeah,
watch. That's pretty
so-
incredible. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so from there, how many years did you do that?
8, I think. 8 or 9 years, something like that. Yeah, I started in 2010, and it was then actually in 2017 where I kind of started taking a step back. And that's kind of when other adventures in my life started.
Right.
So in my relationship at the time, my now ex, my husband at the time, worked away a lot. And with a house full of little children, that was definitely a challenge as well.
Sure.
And, I know that enough about myself now. I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you that at the time.
Right.
I am entrepreneurial and I'm passionate about that and I'm drawn to those things, right? It just naturally happens. And so the idea and the talk started happening of we should have a family business, right? Because again, our kids, our older girls were getting older. We were
Yeah.
a couple of years away from them wanting to have part-time jobs and
Right.
and those kind of things. And so the idea of a family business started, getting to be talked about, but we had no idea what we wanted to do.
Right. Yeah.
And so then this story kind of starts when we were on a family vacation in 2017 in the Okanagan.
Okay.
And so we were sitting on the beach, actually,
Right.
while our oldest 3 were playing on an inflatable water park.
Right. Okay.
And it was packed. It was
Yeah.
full. There were all these
Yeah.
people, and
Oh, yeah,
we
they're
knew what
popular.
we paid.
Yeah, yeah.
So we could easily start doing some numbers. And so literally, as silly as it sounds, was doing numbers in the sand and kind of adding things up and kind of seeing.
This
you know,
is a true entrepreneur right
this is
here,
a great
right?
story. Yeah, figuring it out in the
Exactly.
sand. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
So that's where it all started, and started
So-
researching.
Okay.
So lived
Into
in
water,
Alberta.
into the
Water
inflatable water park world.
Correct. Lived in
Okay.
Alberta, was on vacation in BC. Obviously, we came home and started researching. So, you need water, you
Yeah.
need good weather,
Yeah,
you
yes.
need people, you start figuring out what you need. And the first one there, the lakes and the water and the weather, all
Yeah.
of them really were not highly ideal in
Right,
Alberta.
yeah.
Yes, it's possible, but we also knew that this was a huge investment and high risk, and we wanted to get off the ground really well.
Yeah.
And so we kind of switched our search to Ontario.
Okay.
Known for lakes.
Known
No,
for lakes.
known
That's
for
right.
lakes.
Land of the
Typically
lakes.
warmer weather,
Yeah.
Yeah.
than what we have here, and lots of people.
Right. Right.
And so that's kind of how that came about. And so that following year in 2018, we opened a inflatable water park just outside of Hamilton.
An inflatable water park.
Yes.
Okay, so I think it'd be important at this point to just explain a little bit
What that is.
because I know when we first talked with you, I had the idea of a water
Water
park
slide.
where it was like
Yeah.
water slides and all that kind of stuff. This is an inflatable water park.
Yeah, so best way to kind of describe it is think like bouncy houses, bouncy
Okay.
castles that you get for your kids. And they've become very elaborate nowadays.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
weigh
Yeah,
more than
oh,
just
yeah.
the 4 walls that the kids
Yeah.
get in and jump,
No,
right?
yeah.
And so it's those kind of inflatable structures.
Right.
It's very modular, so the pieces can get put together in different kind of obstacle courses.
Right.
And it's out on open water, and so it's anchored in place.
Okay.
And
So you blow them up,
yeah,
put them in the water,
Yeah.
and people go at her.
we staff them with some lifeguards, and we do some safety things.
That's a good point right there.
Maybe some life jackets.
Using kids probably is not good for business. No, not good for business.
No, but it's a very safe environment.
Yeah.
It's really well done. We exclusively use the Wibbit brand, which is the industry leader and actually the original ones to design inflatable water parks. Because safety is extremely important to us. So that's kind of how it all came about. And so the company is called Fun Splash, funsplash.ca if you want to check out the website.
Right.
Gives you some good visuals. And
they're incredible. Like, they're awesome. And I've seen them different places and been on them once or twice, and they're absolutely incredible. And the fact that you guys just decided to do this amazes me. Like, of all the things in the world you could do, inflatable water park.
Well, that's, I don't know, it's just kind of different, right?
I mean, good for you. Yeah.
No, it was awesome. So it's been operational now since then, and it's been a lot of fun. And my favorite part in the summer when we're open, because obviously it's a seasonal business.
Winter would be tough.
Correct. So we're
on the ice. I'm not sure that would.
No, not a good idea.
Slippery, and I don't know how they would stay inflated.
Those things.
You fall off of that, it's going to hurt a little bit.
It'd be ugly.
Yeah. Is just like sitting at the beach and just listening to the laughter. Because again, like a lot of people will say, oh, it's just for kids. No, it's not. It's totally for adults as well. We've had grandparents out on the inflatable water park. And so it's really good fun for everybody, young adults. It's really physically challenging. And again, kind of that's where my passion comes in of like bringing people together, right? And away from technology and out into nature and just making those experiences. Families, friends together, families come in all different shapes and sizes. Like, whoever you consider your family, come out together. Let's make some memories, and de-stress, because you'll be laughing so much. It is a de-stressor, right? Cool. So that's kind of where the passion behind it comes from.
Cool.
So you open this water park, you're trucking along. What changes in your life?
COVID. So COVID did happen in 2020, as we're all familiar. And we're really going through some challenges on a personal level as well. So in 2020, because of COVID, we actually were not open. The water park was closed. I kind of had to do some soul searching myself that year and really kind of figure out, like everybody was impacted by COVID in some way, right? And I came to realize something that I was doing but wasn't aware of. And it was really just that I loved bringing people together. And our house was always the place where everybody could go. And that's what I wanted for my kids as well. I wanted them to grow up in a place where their friends came to our house rather than they go somewhere else, right? I'm like, bring them here, always open door. That went away, and I had to kind of figure that out first, and I missed it, and was a work-at-home mom at the time and just was looking for something else. I'm like, there's got to be, because COVID took that all away for a while there. And so then Christmas time of 2020, early in December, actually I should back up a little bit here. One of the traditions that my friends and I did with our families is we would get together on Christmas time and we would bake gingerbread houses and decorate them together as one of those gathering family making memories type things, right? And that couldn't happen that year. So I kind of thought of what alternative can we do, and I still baked the gingerbread houses at my place, and I made the icing because I was always the designate one in the group to bake and cook, and put together these kits for my girlfriends and their families to do at their place then, right? And the day that I was doing this, my friend and now also business partner Ashley was out shopping, which was a big deal back then, right? Going shopping was a big deal.
Shopping during COVID was a major ordeal. And
so one of the things that she called me and she's like, there's like no gingerbread houses in any of the stores, right? I'm like, there's nothing. And I'm like, oh, really? And she goes, and it's funny coming from her because she has zero social media. So she's like, you should put it on that thing, like that Facebook thing or that marketplace. You should put it out there.
That marketplace thing. I like that.
I do
Yeah,
too.
that marketplace thing. That's good. It's a good name. It's a good name for it, actually. That marketplace thing. Yeah.
And I had like a lot of fun that day. It was
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is a lot of fun. I'm like, oh, why not? So
Yeah.
put it out on my own personal page that day, took a picture and posted it. And right on my own personal page, got orders right away. And I went, oh, okay.
Wow.
Sure enough, popped it on Marketplace and literally didn't stop from there.
Wow. That's
and
incredible.
People were so excited
Yeah.
to have good quality, tasty, soft, but not too soft that it breaks.
Right,
Well, it
right.
completely breaks,
Yeah,
gingerbread houses that they can do with their families. And so literally that was my last day off before Christmas. And I baked right up until Christmas as many as I could in my own kitchen. And my kids helped, my family helped. And it was a kind of a crazy Christmas.
Cool. So obviously, well, I'll let you tell the rest of the story, but that led to something. And you...
Yeah.
So talk about that. Where did that lead to?
So, Christmas was over and I was like, oh, this was kind of fun. What do we do next?
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, Valentine's Day. So then I kind of came up with the idea of a sweet charcuterie collection. And again, to my customer base that I had kind of started building, put that out there and then continued, and I named it Gather Around the Kitchen Table, because also in my home this was all done around our massive dining room table. I was thinking this morning, I actually wanted to think back of how long it was. I want to say it was like 18, 19 feet long.
Wow.
When was fully extended. So like it was a massive dining room table. So we could
Man.
have those big get-togethers
I was
and
going to
have
say
everybody
that
together,
you
right?
could have everybody together.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's fantastic.
Well, and that's where everybody gathers, right?
Sure.
They don't sit in the living room or anywhere.
No,
They
it's
gather in
always around the kitchen table.
That's
Right?
what I love about this story.
Yeah.
I love your passion of bringing people together. I love that. I just think this is, because I also think, if I could just maybe wax eloquently for 10 seconds here, I think it's a missing thing in our society today of families and friends gathering together around tables.
Mm-hmm.
We're all moving so fast, a million different ways in a million different places. So I think this is fantastic. I think your passion to do that is awesome.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely where this comes from,
Right.
right? And so the name at the time, Gather Around the Kitchen Table, would
Yeah.
just seem very fitting, right? And so continued that all through 2021,
Right.
And really built up quite something. Pretty much just kind of jumping from holiday to holiday. And by the end of towards the end of the year, again, Ashley was working with me full time. And we, headed into Christmas with all the gingerbread houses and sugar cookie decorating kits and charcuterie boxes and all the stuff that we actually worked 19 days straight
Wow.
leading up to Christmas
Yeah.
without a break, all day long. And, pickup was at 3:00 and after that, and we started doing some deliveries as well. And
Right.
it was a lot, right? And so that Christmas came and went, and we kind of realized that we had outgrown where we were. We needed to make some changes. And I had kind of been going through a lot on a personal level as well. And I realized that I needed to kind of figure out some stuff in my own life as well. And so as hard as it was to make that decision, because again, from a business perspective, I understand momentum,
Sure.
right? And
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
stopping that was, okay, this is scary, because it was going
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
You
for
didn't
sure.
want to stop it,
No.
right? But I'm like, I needed to take some time and figure out my own life.
Right.
And so kind of put a pin in it and did figure out a few things, and I got a divorce through it all, and I'm happier on the other side. And so then it was around February 2023 now, that Ashley and I were talking again, and we had said, we'd always said we would maybe start this up again.
Right.
And we were both kind of looking at to what was next for us. And I said, okay, well, what's it going to look like? What if we do open a bakery, a brick and mortar, and, what's that going to be like? And we didn't know. I'd opened the inflatable water park business, but it wasn't a brick and mortar. It's
Right.
different.
Right.
Yeah. And it's
And
seasonal.
seasonal.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to take this step by step,
Right.
and we're just going to see where it takes us. And when we hit a roadblock, we're done. And we never did hit that big roadblock. And we were able to open Gather Bakery here in Spruce Grove at the end of August last year. So I've been open now for a little over a year.
Right.
And we still do the gingerbread houses, the haunted houses now at Halloween, and all those ones throughout the season, charcuterie. But we've been able to add a whole lot more, from your breads to cakes to all of that. So
no, you guys are amazing. Gather is a fantastic place.
I am so happy. Speaking of somebody that is a resident of Spruce Grove, I am so happy that it is in Spruce Grove. It is a true gem, and it is something that was missing from our community.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer.
So I love it. It's everything in it is fantastic.
And if you don't live in Spruce Grove, because I don't,
Take
it's
the
worth
drive.
the drive. Trust me, it
Absolutely.
is worth the drive. You guys do a fantastic job. I love hanging out at your bakery when we come. I love eating everything at your bakery when we come.
Yeah.
And you really do a fantastic job. So you've been in business now for
a little over a year.
A little over a year.
Yeah.
And how's it going?
Ups and downs. It's got its challenges,
business,
as we
right?
all know,
Yes.
right?
Right.
And so you just have to, stick it out.
Go with
and
it,
we have a good team, and we work together, and we do our best.
So I just want to bring this into it, because I think some people listening to us can relate to this. So you're doing this all. You have 7 children.
Now you're a single
You're
mom.
a single mom.
Yes.
That's incredible
That
to me.
is incredible.
So, and I told you a little my story. I was raised by a single mom, but I was the only child. I can't imagine 7.
Yeah.
That's incredible. How do you balance all of this? How do you balance your work, home, life? How do you do that? I mean,
well, daily you try your best.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if I always balance it so well,
Sure.
but what it is, you have to try your best every day. That's all you can do.
what's your biggest struggle in it all? What do you in relation
just
to that?
not having enough time. I need to be in more places at once,
yeah.
and that's not possible, right?
Sure.
And so, like the mom guilt is 100% real. It is 100% there.
Right.
We all need to just own it and be aware of it,
Yeah.
because I think we all really struggle with it. So you just do your best, right?
Do your kids think it's pretty cool that their mom owns a bakery?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They absolutely love it, yes.
Like, you must be the hit of the neighborhood, the hit of all their friends. Like, that must be
I hear it
amazing.
regularly. Just this morning, again, my daughter asked me to bring home a s'more cookie. And I said, why do you need a s'more cookie? Well, it's my friend's favorite, and I'd like to bring her a cookie. So
I love that. That's fantastic.
That is a regular in my house.
But you know what, Teresa? I think what you're doing is you're an amazing role model for your children.
Yes.
Well, that's what I try to do, right?
Yeah.
And I try to show them everything from like the business perspective, because I'm passionate about it. So I do, if they become entrepreneurs, great. If they don't, it's their choice.
Right,
I'm not going to
yeah.
push them in it. But I, for myself, see the value in it and the great impact it can have on your life, right?
And I also think that you're an amazing role model. And I say this sincerely, and Jennifer knows where I stand on this. I think you're an amazing role model for women. I really do. I think you are an incredible example for women, and the fact that you never gave up. You just kept going.
Yeah.
You just kept going. I think that's fascinating.
I do too.
It's, you constantly have to stick with it,
Yeah,
right? And
for
it's hard.
sure.
And I know that a lot of women go through really hard times,
Yeah.
and guys as well. So
Yeah.
I'm not just wanting to single them out, but just continuing on what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And I have been blessed that I am where I am. I've had a great kind of small but mighty community around me that has supported me.
Which is key. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And that's also a big one that I teach my children, that, you need to have that community, those
Right.
connections, and that, reach out to people when you're stuck, reach out to people, and, someone may have walked that path before you. And that's where I'm also passionate. If, I know a lot of women are struggling. Let's just go back to that for a second. And I know that it's very lonely. And if you need to talk to someone, please search someone out.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Yeah.
You're
Great
not
advice.
alone, in whatever you're going through. And again, I've shared just tiny bits of my journey.
Yeah.
If anybody
Yeah.
wants to ever
Yeah.
come talk, you know where to find me at the
Sure.
Gather Bakery.
Yes.
Go hang out at the bakery.
So that talks, that is great advice. And I think there's so many life lessons that, people listening can get from your story, Teresa. But we do have a final question that we ask all of our guests. And so we're going to ask it to you now.
Okay.
what is the best piece of advice that you've been given either personally or professionally that you carry with you to this day?
Okay, it was given to me personally as a mom, actually raising my children, but I fully believe it applies to business as well, and that all phases in life come to an end, so just kind of ride them, right? So what she told me at the time was my daughter was very young, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but we were going through a phase that was really challenging. Either she had, was cluster feeding or wasn't sleeping through the night or something,
Right.
and she says, you know what? It's going to end. There's going to be the positive where they're doing really well. And so while you're in this, valley, there will be an end.
Yeah.
But also when you're then up on that hill, know that there's an end to that as well, right? And so that's and I think that can be really applied to business as well. As I mentioned before, it's had its challenges for us in both businesses. And, when you're in the valley, just hang tight,
Keep going.
Stick with
That's
your
right.
team and your community and work together and know that it will end, right? Know that you're not going to be stuck there forever. And then that, when you're up on that hill, really soak it in.
That's right.
Because it too will end,
That's
right?
right.
And really,
Ride
hang
the
on
wave
to that
when
feeling.
the wave is good. Yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
right?
That's fantastic advice.
That is
it really
absolutely
is
fantastic advice, and I know that people listening to us today are going to say, "Yeah, I needed to hear that." And so, Gather Bakery. Do you have a website for the bakery? What is it? It's
gatherbakery.ca.
Gather Bakery.
And you're also on social media.
You're
We
on social
are,
media.
and also check us out on Google. We've
That's
got some
right.
really
Okay,
good Google
perfect.
ratings there.
Right, and give us the address just for people so they know.
Yeah, so we're in Spruce Grove, between Back on Track and Buster's Pizza.
Right.
Unit 3, 101, First Ave.
First out, and it's worth the trip.
It sure
I'm
is.
telling
No
you.
matter where you're listening from, if you are in the surrounding region, get to Spruce Grove at Gather
Absolutely.
Bakery.
It is, and what you can do is if you're coming, say, from Edmonton heading west, you can stop at the Wall Coffee Roasters, then you can head out to Gather, or do the
Or vice
reverse, go
versa.
to Gather,
So- Right.
stop at Wall, yeah.
Actually, we serve coffee from the wall at Gather Bakery because
Ladies
we
and
do
gentlemen.
love to support local.
There you go. You've heard it right here. You've heard it
You
first.
can save you a stop. Just
Yep.
coming out.
Come
we
to
can
Gather, have
serve you
wall
coffee.
Yeah, perfect. And sit there and try one of everything in the display case because it's amazing.
And pick something up for a friend.
Yeah.
That's
you know
right.
what? This has been amazing. What a great story. I love your story.
Thank you.
I love your personality. It has been amazing getting to know you a little bit over the last year or so.
Yes.
And you are an inspiration. And I love that. That's fantastic.
And we're really proud to have you as associate members of the Atchison Business Association.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
thank you.
Yeah, you guys are just great. And so, folks, if you're needing some baking, and the other thing you do, because I know our company has used you in the past, if you have customers and you're looking for stuff to do for your customers at Christmas, thank you gifts or whatever it is, talk to the people at Gather Bakery because they put together some pretty skookum stuff that your customers will love. Jennifer, this has been great.
Sure has.
It has. And I'm excited. And hey, anything else you need to tell us?
You know what? There's lots going on. So check out the Instagram page for ABA Coffee in the Park podcast.
Yep, that's right. And so, hey, thanks everybody, and make sure you download this. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your business associates, tell your enemies, tell everybody, and wherever you get your podcasts, or you can do it at www.atchisonbusiness.com. Thanks everybody, it's been great.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
See you next week.